Beloved one, this is a divine message of alignment and empowerment, a message flowing with the breath of Spirit and the wisdom of Archangel Michael, calling you into deeper awareness of who you truly are and the sacred path that stretches before you. The call to listen and open arrives with urgency, yet it is not a burden but an invitation to pause before the clock strikes, to receive a revelation that has been prepared especially for you. This urgency is not rooted in fear but in the tender nudge of divine timing, as Spirit seeks your openness before distraction clouds the air. When you open your heart, you recognize that what may seem like coincidence is, in truth, alignment from the higher realms guiding your footsteps. As you lean into this call, you are asked to stay and to follow, to understand that this moment marks the promise of guidance that will accelerate your journey toward the destiny that has awaited your courage. It is a promise that beyond this moment, the unfolding of your life will carry more light, more clarity, and a swifter current leading you into fulfillment. Subscribing to this guidance does not mean blind obedience, but rather a continual renewing of your inner instructions, an encouragement to hold steady to the spiritual rhythm whispered into your heart. In this sacred flow, recognition of your past struggles and long seasons of waiting becomes a vital part of your empowerment. These struggles are not dismissed, nor are they signs of failure, but are instead acknowledged with deep compassion. Your silent prayers, your perseverance in the face of delay, and your resilience when hope seemed far have not gone unseen. Delay itself is not denial but divine training, a sharpening of faith, patience, and inner strength. Each waiting period has refined you, has prepared you for the harvest to come, and has taught you how to anchor hope in the midst of uncertainty. This recognition allows you to release the lies that once clung to your spirit, lies that whispered you were too late, too flawed, or too forgotten. Those accusations are now silenced by the fire of truth. Archangel Michael comes with authority, cutting away the cords of deception and reminding you of your worth. You are encouraged to walk forward with confidence and peace, no longer shrinking back under the shadow of falsehoods but stepping into the full light of your calling. As you step forward, the power of timing and the importance of an immediate yes come to the surface. The number of urgency, the prompting that comes in sacred hours, is not a signal of fear but a reminder that obedience opens doors at the exact moment they are meant to swing wide. Immediate obedience removes unnecessary delays and aligns your life with the timelines heaven has already written. When you say yes without hesitation, you find that divine orchestration weaves your life with precision, bringing you into spaces and opportunities that would otherwise remain unseen. In this obedience rests the promise of favor and new opportunities. The divine speaks of conversations rearranged, of doors suddenly open, of paths cleared for you to walk. This favor is not a reward earned but a grace received, a sign that you are positioned for breakthroughs beyond your imagination. Favor appears as surprising resources, unexpected allies, and golden opportunities that align perfectly with your needs and your purpose. Yet the path of empowerment is not only paved with opportunity but also with healing. There is a sacred invitation to healing and redemption of old wounds, wounds carried silently in your spirit, memories of loss that have weighed heavy on your soul. These wounds are not meant to define you but to be transformed into peace and wholeness. The pain of the past will not be erased but will be redeemed, becoming the soil from which compassion and strength grow. Healing may move slowly, yet slowness is sacred, each gentle step honored as transformative. You are invited to honor the pace of healing rather than rushing it, to see in your journey the beauty of restoration that comes quietly yet powerfully. From this restoration comes the call to embrace visibility and leadership. You are no longer to hide or shrink back, but to stand boldly as one who is seen without apology. Saying yes to being seen is saying yes to your role as a light bearer, stepping into assignment with humility and strength. You are invited to sit at prepared tables with grace and calm assurance, knowing that you belong there, knowing that your voice carries weight and your presence carries authority. Leadership in this context is not about dominance but about shining truthfully, leading through authenticity and the quiet power of integrity. Practical steps are also given for your progress and focus. You are guided to simplify, to cut away excess that clutters your path, and to announce your mission with clarity so that those who are meant to align with you will find you. There is instruction to build systems, to delegate, and to treat your resources as sacred, stewarding them as a wise servant of the divine. This practical wisdom ensures that your energy is not wasted but directed toward purposeful growth. Alongside these steps comes the reminder of managing relationships and boundaries. Boundaries are not walls of isolation but doors with knobs, open when appropriate and closed when necessary. They allow for healthy flow without draining your energy. Love and friendships must be nurtured and cultivated, not silenced or ignored. Relationships grounded in honor and reciprocity will sustain your growth, while those that drain must be lovingly but firmly set aside. The importance of obedience and consistency now emerges as the next stream of wisdom. You are reminded to show up softly, steadily, persistently, like rain that nourishes the soil not with a downpour but with continual presence. Obedience in small, consistent steps creates massive shifts over time. It is in daily choices, in steady faith, that great transformation occurs. Consistency guards you against the trap of comparison, leading into the next key message, transforming your mindset about time and comparison. You are reminded that you are wholly time itself. Your journey does not run late, nor does it need to mimic anyone else's. Comparison steals peace and shifts your focus away from divine alignment. Instead, focus is your sword, guarding your spirit against the discouragement of distraction. You are called to embrace your own rhythm, to trust the architecture of your unique timeline. As you move further, the message of transparency and honest progress is released. Transparency is not weakness but strength. It cleanses and purifies authority, making your leadership even more radiant. In contrast, the pursuit of perfection can make your witness brittle and unattractive. Authentic growth, marked by honesty and humility, carries beauty far greater than any polished illusion. This is paired with the call to financial wisdom and stewardship. You are instructed to treat money with strategy and purpose, to assign it roles that align with your mission, rather than scattering it aimlessly. Money becomes a tool for empowerment, not a master of your decisions. Small, consistent financial actions, faithfully applied, lead to multiplied blessings over time. Your home will become a consecrated battlefield, and woven throughout sanctuary, the sacred reminder of rest, habitation where divine not as laziness but as essential and as this encounter ushers in breakthrough. Rest is necessary for sustained strength, but continue, for it renews providing the spirit ongoing and restores the body. Protection in rest, and assurance that you lay down under the covering and allow divine help to carry the weight you were never meant to bear alone. Tonight's encounter is empowers you to rise again with fresh vigor, to continue your assignment with clarity and joy. Shaping this balance of action and empowering your journey from this day is sustainable and aligned with September 2025 as the night of divine shift continues by heaven and declared by Archangel Michael as the turning point of your life and household. For nothing in your life is random or misplaced. September 1st, 2025 every delay, deeper, every divine orchestration carefully woven into the tapestry of your revelation, alignment, you into the full scope and of heaven's plan are the three pillars that will carry you into the next season of mobility and a lived reality within your life. Is not a scattered series of disconnected in your heart, but a not anxiety but designed with precision and care that keeps reminding you that this is not ordinary time. When you align yourself with divine appointment, you recognize that the opened in the heavens to release power, in fact, healing and truth into your preparing you to stand firmly. Every distraction that rises against you in this moment is nothing but the enemy's desperate life to detour your focus, too early, to blind you to what is about to arrive, and not too late, to rob you of the opportunity would lose its power, to be delivered. But exactly when your spirit is most aligned to receive and to steward with grace, do not let go. Architecture for the becomes your divine presence in moments of doubt, over you like reminding you that your life is intentional and your story is being written with wisdom in this hour far beyond your understanding. Because of perfection, in this holy design you are called because to overcome fear and embrace joy. Came, but fear has long been the thief holding of dreams, divine light, the silent when shadow has tried to engulf stepping boldly and into as you persevere. But you position yourself. Archangel Michael declares that fear must be replaced with courage, that reveals that you must treat joy not as a fleeting prize, but as a daily could never explain. Joy is not a moment given only when circumstances improve. Become testimonies. It is a discipline you cultivate when the darkness like strengthening muscles through consistent exercise. Under the brilliance joy of becomes your strength. And your when every lie and your constant companion and allowing you to walk through uncertainty under the sheer force of divine revelation. You are then not merely with exposure but dismantling assignment. Strongholds are not just designed to align your heart. Deceptions are not just uncovered but destroyed. Purpose. And what the enemy sought to use for harm you are is asked to dedicate your efforts for glory. Define your mission with clarity. Of light. Offer your voice without hesitation. Transformation complete the tasks before to behold with your own spirit and honor your boundaries. Rewrites harm into healing and record the ways in which favor shows up in your life, and despair into daily hope. Actions are this not busy witness but is not rituals. It is an invitation to step into active faith, to stand unshaken as God's power turns what seemed like and trust into testimonies of restoration. 7 days in focus. Though you it knocks at the door that will carry beyond the resting place in you, new patterns and preparing the soil of divine truth and the courage born within from knowing that heaven's armies favor is around those who align themselves with light, growing when treated with divine shift gratitude and the impact on your spirit when you walk in this rhythm, not superficial. Favor becomes you will feel the very vibration flowing of continually as you remain aligned with your higher calling and empowers. Following this assignment comes the season of preparing for new doors and opportunities. And destiny. You are assured that the next set of doors will not come with physical dwelling, but as a consecrated sanctuary, peace, a place marked by divine habitation will not where be required rise to prove like your worth. Incense and for heaven's doors are not earned by exhaustion, but opened by divine grace. Not destruction, but you are sanctification. Called to speak openly about your mission, the atmosphere of your household as both a declaration and an invitation set apart for divine purposes. You summon the alignment of those who are not a one-night phenomenon, and you also honor the gift of your presence by allowing it to be heard. A daily rhythm means divine intervention in the physical guidance, but also streams of protection that will carry you forward long after this night when the moment arrives. Each day the path ahead is not to be feared but embraced, and each moment will bear the imprint of heaven's touch, influence, reminding you that what began tonight is not to end but to increase. As the first half of this message settles in your spirit, wider Archangel Michael wraps you in spiritual encouragement is not only for tonight but for the continuity of your walk, that you are guarded, that you do not treat this as an isolated experience, but as the opening of a new chapter, is a story that continues to unfold, to divine and though there may have been chapters of miraculous or confusion, he urges you to stay attuned, to guard your connection, your destiny is still being the voice of heaven, and the pages ahead are filled with promise. For it is in this consistency the doors that the are already of miracles remains unbroken. Miracles are already stirring. Readiness must become a lifestyle, step of faith, not just a momentary preparation. To walk forward the with heart that remains open, continually drinks from the well of divine clarity, and full of trust. Continually in this posture, the signs, blessings continually will multiply, discerns the favor will expand, and continually alignment will bring you into places where only divine power of the shift will leave you marked in such a way that you cannot go back to who you once were. Your light, even if you attempted to return to old patterns, they would no longer fit. Rise with the seal of heaven will remain imprinted upon your spirit and supported in every dimension. This mark is not a burden but a privilege with you, not a weight of heaviness for you, but a crown of destiny. Path is crowned with grace. That you have been chosen, beloved light visited, as and this forever aligned with divine timing. You are urged to step and though the battles over your household may not cease altogether, and the greatness of the awareness of Michael's sword, for you are not drawn by chance but by divine will assure you that every season of your life has carried a purpose, not abandoned, whether it felt fruitful or barren. Your response whether to these truths is the key that unlocks their manifestation. By clarity faith or is confusion the bridge between promise and reality, part of the divine and choice is the gatekeeper that determines whether you walk into protection or remain mission outside entrusted to you. Thus, remember now that this mission is not only about the actions you take in the visible world, but also about the posture of your spirit, the shadows. The way you choose to stand in obedience, to control, but the way you cultivate your inner atmosphere of faith, readiness over distraction, perseverance over choices you make will alignment over more loudly than the visible in doing outcomes so, you strive for. You align with the eternal flow of obedience and consistency, ensuring that what begins now continues without interruption, showing up day after day that not only carries you but also seeds of diligence into your family, your household, refusing to be shaken by the storms of discouragement. This for is in the divine design of the 1st of September 2025, and destinies that the night becomes not just delay. A date on a calendar, but a memorial stone in your journey. Whether it is speaking a kind word on as the night everything shifted, or the finishing a task with and excellence. As the holy unfolding a ripple that expands into realms you cannot see, deepens, aligning you the message carried by Archangel Michael does not fade but grows stronger. And with this comes a renewed invitation to a realm where in the assurance that your worth is not measured by your speed and or your comparison to others, that heaven for you are called to transform your mindset about time and competition, to understand that your timeline again and again that this is the urgency of the moment, is nothing more than a timing is that robs you of and that you are not standing here by chance, you are not by late, appointment, you are not behind, woven into a tapestry of heaven's design that was written long before you even knew of this day. Of divine order. The urgency and though your eyes may not always align you, the for distractions will attempt to pull your gaze toward temporary things. You are holy time itself that suggests that you are missing out on what others with eternal rhythm. Yet in truth, and it is those distractions that are designed to make you miss your true inheritance, inseparably tied to your assignment, and it will unfold at the precise instant prepared for you. Michael's plea, the burden of measuring your progress against another, but in compassion, for their path calls you to silence the noise their design, fix your gaze on heaven's light. Instead, for what you choose now like will echo throughout the rest of your days. Distractions and the encouragement that persevere is a reminder that storms guarding do not your spirit with the strength of trust in divine that chosen order. Ones are identified not by the absence of trial, but by their refusal to walk away when the trial returns to guide you further. In this
you are reminded
perseverance,
that
heaven's
authenticity
oil
shines
is poured
brighter
over
than
your
perfection,
and
for
anointing that
transparency does
seals you,
not
making
weaken
your
authority
prayers
but
stronger,
strengthens
your
it,
resolve
making your
firmer,
leadership
and your awareness
magnetic and your
sharper.
presence
As
trustworthy.
the shift unfolds,
When you walk in
the unveiling
transparency,
becomes clearer.
you invite
For the
others to step
spiritual
into
revelation
courage.
pierces
You create
through what was
safe
once
spaces
hidden,
for healing,
bringing to the
and you
surface
show the
not
world
only
that
the lies
strength
that
is
held you
not
captive,
flawless
but
but
also
faithful.
the promises that
Let
were
go
waiting
of the
for
temptation
release.
to polish
This
every
revelation
edge or
is a
hide
sword that
every
cuts
struggle,
both deception
for it is your
and despair,
authenticity that
draws
dismantles
others
what
to
the
the
enemy
divine
built
light
and
within you.
establishes what
A
heaven
perfect
always
mask may look
intended,
attractive for a
turning
moment,
every hidden
but
tear
authentic
into
growth
visible
carries
testimony,
eternal beauty,
every
and that is the
unseen battle
legacy
into
you are
open
meant to
victory,
leave.
every
In the
silent
same way,
prayer into
your
shouted
relationship with
fulfillment.
financial
It is
stewardship
in
must
this
also be
atmosphere that you are
reframed,
not
for
merely a
money is
bystander
not
but
an
a
enemy
witness,
nor an
invited
idol
to
but a
behold the
sacred
hand
tool,
of God
an
taking what
energy
was
that
meant for
responds to
destruction
intention,
and rewriting it
discipline,
into a
and purpose.
testimony of glory.
Treat money
You are
strategically,
called to witness
assign
not
it
only
roles
for
that
yourself
align
but
with your
for
mission,
others, and
for your
direct it
life
toward
becomes a
growth
living
rather than
message that what
scattering it
heaven did in
aimlessly.
you can also
When
be
you
done
take
for those
small but
around you.
consistent
The
steps
call
of
to witness
stewardship
is therefore
saving,
also a call to
investing,
courage.
giving with
For
generosity,
fear is
you will
broken in the
find that
presence of
resources
divine
multiply
nearness,
over time,
replaced with the
creating a
strength of
stable
clarity and the
foundation for your
boldness of
mission
love,
and opening
making you
channels of provision
unshakable
you once
even
thought
when the world
unreachable.
trembles.
And as
As this
resources
courage
increase
rises
and
the impact on
responsibilities
your
expand,
spirit
you must not
intensifies,
forget the
shaping your
sacred
inner
rhythm
being
of rest,
into one who
for
carries
rest is
heaven's
not
fragrance,
weakness nor
whose words
laziness
release
but holy
peace,
repair,
whose
the
actions
strength of
manifest
renewal
compassion,
that fuels
and
your
whose
continued
presence becomes an
obedience.
extension of
Lay
divine
down the
presence.
burdens you were never
Your
meant to
home,
carry
too,
alone, and
is
let divine
transformed
presence
beyond
lift them from your
recognition,
shoulders.
not in its physical
Rest
structure
is an
but in
act
its
of
atmosphere,
trust, a
as it becomes a
declaration that the
sanctuary
universe
where
does
heaven's
not revolve
nearness is
around your
felt,
constant
where
motion
prayers
but
are
around
not
the
hindered
eternal
but
flow
empowered,
of divine
where
alignment.
every corner
In
resounds
rest,
with the memory
you are
of divine
reminded that you are
encounter,
supported,
and where those
that
who
your
enter
worth is
can
not
sense that they
tied
have
to
stepped
ceaseless
into holy
striving,
ground,
and that your
what
greatest
once was a
strength
place
comes
of
not
ordinary
from
living
unending
becomes a
effort but from
sacred
sustained
altar
renewal.
consecrated by
When you
heaven's
allow rest to
visitation,
weave into your
forever
daily
marked
rhythm,
as the
you
site of
rise
your
refreshed,
encounter.
carrying
And this
the
marking
ability
does
to
not
endure
fade
and
but
flourish
ushers
in
you
ways
into
you
the
could not
continuous
without it.
flow of
Now,
miracles,
as this
a
river
river
of
that does
wisdom
not
flows
dry up
into
but
deeper
grows
waters,
stronger the
you
more
are
you
called again
remain
to look
connected.
toward divine
Each
timing
day that
and
follows
holy
will carry the
architecture,
imprint
to
of
stand in the
tonight's
confidence
encounter,
that every
and each
piece of your
moment will
life
be
has been
guided by the
carefully
hand of
placed,
heaven,
that even the
ensuring
mistakes
protection,
and missteps you
provision,
feared
and
would
revelation.
derail you have been
Staying
redeemed into
connected to
stepping
this
flow
stones,
means that what
shaping your
begins as a
character,
breakthrough
humbling
becomes a
your heart,
lifestyle,
and
that
sharpening your
miracles
vision.
are no longer
Your life
sporadic
is a
interruptions
cathedral
but
under
daily
construction,
companions,
each
that
stone laid
guidance
with
is no longer
intention,
occasional
each
but
detail
continual,
marked by
and that
sacred
protection
precision,
is
and
not
though you may not
uncertain
yet
but
see the
assured.
finished design,
Michael's
heaven
message
assures
is clear
you
that it is
do not treat
breathtaking
this as
beyond
an
measure.
isolated night
You
but
are
as the
not
dawn of a
merely
new
living.
season,
You
where
are
every
building
day
something
is lived
eternal,
under the canopy
something
of
that will
divine
echo
presence,
into
where
generations
every
beyond
challenge
you.
is met with
Within
heavenly
this truth
assistance,
lies the
and
power
where
to
every choice
overcome
is
fear
guided by
once
divine
and for
wisdom.
all, and to
The
embrace
child of
joy
light
as
who
a way
heeds
of
this
life.
call will not
Fear
stumble in
whispers
darkness
lies
but
to
will
keep you
shine as a
paralyzed,
beacon for
but
others,
Archangel Michael
showing
now
through their
declares
testimony
that
that
fear
heaven
must
is
lose its
real,
grip,
that
for your
angels
life was
war
never
on
meant to
behalf
be a
of the
stage for
faithful,
fear
and
but
that
a song
no
for
force
joy.
of darkness can
Joy is
withstand the
not
presence
reserved
of
for
divine
special
light.
occasions but must
As
be
the night
practiced
presses
daily.
on, like
You
prayer,
are invited
like
deeper
song,
still,
like steady
reminded
breath.
that the veil
Even
between
in
the
the
worlds
face of
is thinner
trials,
than ever,
joy
that
can
your
be
prayers
chosen,
rise like
cultivated,
fire and are
embraced,
answered swiftly,
until it
that
becomes
your
your
worship
shield,
becomes a
your
weapon,
melody,
and that your faith
strength.
is the anchor that
Through
holds
joy,
you steady
your
amidst the
spirit
shaking.
rises above the weight of
Michael's
fear,
sword continues
and you begin
to
to
guard,
walk with
heaven's
lightness
presence
even in
continues
heavy
to
seasons.
fill, and your
This
soul
message
continues
is
not
to
only
align
about vision
until
but also
every
about
part of
action.
you,
And so
spirit,
you are
mind,
reminded
and
again
body
of the sacred
is enveloped
seven-day
in the
assignment,
reality of
not
this
as a
divine
rigid
shift.
duty but as a
And when dawn
transformative
breaks,
rhythm. You will
a
know
practice
beyond
to
doubt
align
that
your September
mind,
1st,
body,
2025
and
was the
spirit
night
with
heaven
divine
arrived
flow.
in your home.
For
The
7
night
days,
your destiny
let your
turned,
focus
the
sharpen,
night your
let your
spirit was
mission
marked,
crystallize,
and the night
let your
Archangel
boundaries
Michael's
hold
urgent
firm,
message
let
was
your
not
rest
only
restore
heard but
you,
embraced.
and let
let your gratitude open your eyes to the favor that already surrounds you. As the sacred night of September 1st, 2025 reaches its deepest transformation, the weight of heaven's presence continues to pour forth like a river without the close of those days, saturating your spirit and consecrating your home as Archangel Michael's urgent message has anchored you more firmly than before. What began as a call of the child of light has now become a transformation of your very identity. For the heavens did not simply speak to inform you, but to reshape you. These doors will not demand out from the shadows of uncertainty and anchor you into the brilliance of divine spaces that feel like home for your spirit. The opportunities that await you will not drain you but will nourish you, not confuse you but clarify you, not diminish you but amplify you. Stand ready to step through with courage, for your preparation has equipped you to walk every through word with whispered into your heart and open has been both a sword and a bomb, clearly of your mission away these the entanglements of fear, for your voice is not just healing the wounds of delay, carrying the authority of your despair. When you declare with confidence for your mind alone, but one etched into the marrow of your being, and the right alliances that cannot be erased. And once more, as this wave of revelation pauses to rest in your spirit, to its former Archangel Michael assures you that you are covered by spiritual encouragement and of divine shift. Blessings that are not only what heaven promises, future favor, but present realities already unfolding. Is the undeniable you are proof. Guarded on all sides. Michael's sword has been raised and wielded on your behalf. Graced with every battles have been fought. Your story and won is over a divine narrative, and though you may never fully grasp the magnitude of what was averted you may have in the spiritual realms where the script you will walk in the fruit the next of chapters are being tonight. Written in light the chains and joy. Of fear that once the doors held you back are unlocking even now. The shadows miracles that once are aligning lies into and you are called to walk boldly and the atmosphere around you has been sanctified by angelic presence and heavenly fire. Your spirit from this night onward. For your promise of victory and protection, your heart is not a hope, but and a reality. Is already for you have entered into covenant alignment with heaven's shield. And beloved no weapon one, formed against you can prosper when you remain within penetrate deeply into your spirit. As always, for as you have received the foundations of alignment, of light over darkness, and preparation of faith over now fear, comes the expansion into greater maturity. A maturity that beyond this night becomes an extension of what was birthed, but learns how to sustain them. Nurture the nature them, of the and shock, multiply them for the glory has already of the divine. Served its purpose. You are reminded that what every needed to gift, be broken, every open door, what needed every to be measure revealed, of favor is and not only with an identity not defined by you, but also an invitation to stewardship. Testimony for what you hold in your hands must be handled that heaven visited you. Responsibility, your home, and gratitude, if it is to continue been declared a spiritual just altar, as a gardener tends to soil infused with prayers that rise and like incense, tender plants from tears that have become seeds of miracles, you tend to the opportunities and that are now cleansed by divine life. This altar will stand as the responsibility to honor and to generations and after you that responsibility comes the promise that angels defended will open and that even more triumphed. This is the ongoing divine conversation will not end here. The way in which heaven now entered into a rhythm of heaven's voice, greater reach, a flow and of greater favor to those who prove trustworthy with what they already have. And do miracles that will not small beginnings as long as you remain connected. For these are the training grounds that shape your ability to hold larger measures later. Has been consecrated within your heart of stewardship builds capacity. And as you continue, you will find that heaven's presence will not be a rare event, but a constant companion in this sacred journey. A nearness that for though you have received promises of restoration. You must also learn how to live as one who has been healed, that steadies your hands, and a clarity that guides your steps. No longer the arrival of heaven's presence tonight was only the beginning, but instead carrying them as testimonies of redemption outward into healing every decision, is not only the every relationship, of what was broken, but also the transformation of corner of your destiny, that allows you to ensuring that you are never the same again. Where wisdom after was tonight, your life is new light. You do not hide your scars, but allow them to shine as evidence of victory, heaven's signature etched across your story. To break you has instead been repurposed to strengthen you. One you carry this proudly. This is the true redemption, a testimony that others will see, when they no longer carry the power to chain you, but instead that others will authority to inspire others who are still in their marked life. Thus, that what heaven does not becomes a beacon for others to find their way into you by making you relatable and in this aftermath, urgency grounded in truth. For the enemy does not give up easily, and distractions will still continually that you away from your life has been wasted. Yet heaven's timing even the most painful moments, and if you remain woven into the holy, your architecture of your calling to be aligned with divine appointments. With healed hearts and encouragement flows once more. The call to leadership returns more strongly. For the oil has sealed you. You are urged to step without hesitation into visibility, and the light has claimed you. For hiding is no longer permitted away from daily of your destiny. Let no trial not need a version of you muted by fear, blind you again, by comparison, for what you carry now or deluded by apology to be surrendered. The world needs the fullness of your voice, completed. The revelation has been unveiled, the unique fragrance and what was once hidden is now exposed. Visibility is not vanity but obedience by heavenly power. For to shine is to honor the one who placed light within you. Scattered. Leadership is not dominance but service, unshakable, and the best leaders are those who lead from authenticity. You are called not just to witness this victory, but to testify. You are encouraged to let others know that what heaven did for you can also be done for them, and assignments where your presence has been divinely someone else's breakthrough. Knowing that you do not shine the light that was given to you into the darkness by the entire strength of heaven's army. Fear has no hold on you now. The call to leadership is a call to responsibility, by to carry strength, your gifts by courage, and by to inspire others by brighter than ever before, and to let your courage your spirit is no longer timid but bold. Practical steps no again arise as anchors in this your flowing stream of wisdom. Ordinary but extraordinary. You are reminded that for it has been touched, not always consecrated in dramatic and transformed leaps, but by the divine presence that has arrived. Intentional actions. And as you move forward, simplify your life by cutting away distractions that drain your energy or cloud your focus. Ensuring that you remain protected, for when you give voice to what you are here to do, each day will unveil new mercies that draws each the right people, will reveal new strength, resources, each prayer will and the right opportunities into alignment and each with you. Moment will remind you of the sacred shift that began on this very night. Do not attempt to carry the everything on your shoulders, but delegate the flow will not and use your resources. For heaven is committed to you as long as you remain committed to heaven. Time, energy, and relationships concludes, as sacred currencies, not with an end, but not with to be wasted, but to be invested with care. Closing of a chapter, remember but the opening that of an entirely new today in your life story for the greater structures by the divine hand, and the more intentional your foundation, the more stable your expansion will be. The first of September 2025 will forever be remembered as the night of divine shift, and without them your focus will be drained. Visitation. Boundaries are not Archangel Michael's urgent plea was not only spoken but embraced the garden of your soul and ensure that only what nurtures you is allowed to remain. As you carry relationships into your days, friendships, let your connections must be chosen your with home discernment. For not everyone and your testimony you carries the heart to walk for the world needs what you have received. Some connections will be seasonal, and if your spirit has been stirred, if your heart has been awakened, others if your life has been touched by this to recognize the difference without guilt, you to stay and understand not that only closing prayer, the door to misaligned relationships is not cruelty but obedience. Join us in continuing this friendship through and love that brings life. And do every message is the beauty of relational intimacy, nearness, for even leaders your need companions, aligned with light, and even warriors and to encourage you in times of to rest their swords. By subscribing to Archangel the rhythm of consistency on YouTube, you are urged to continue clicking a button. Small, you are choosing to remain in a stream of ongoing revelation, into a harvest beyond what you imagine, and spiritual empowerment gentle that will sustain you for the days ahead. Your steady presence brings nourishment to the soil of your destiny. Stay covered. For your journey has only just begun, steps, and heaven's voice will continue to guide you if you are willing to listen. Resilience is forged, and momentum is created. Every act of faithfulness, no matter how hidden, is recorded in the fabric of eternity, and none of it is wasted. When discouragement tempts you to believe your labor is unnoticed, remember that heaven sees and heaven rewards. And finally, as this 1,000-word stream draws toward its pause, you are reminded once more of the dance between timing, obedience, joy, rest, and transparency, the pillars that uphold your path. Time is sacred, obedience is strength, joy is fuel, rest is renewal, and transparency is authority. Let these 5 become the rhythm of your daily life, a cycle that sustains you as you step into larger assignments, greater visibility, and deeper influence. Know that you are not alone in this path, that every step is guided, every breath is graced, and every yes is multiplied. The journey ahead is expansive, full of blessings yet to be seen, but also anchored in discipline, stewardship, and integrity. Stand tall, beloved one, for you are chosen for such a time as this, and heaven delights in watching you rise. Beloved child of light, as this divine script flows into its final 1,000 words, the message deepens into the fullness of encouragement, the seal of empowerment, and the complete embrace of your sacred destiny. For the journey you have been led through is not a mere sequence of lofty ideas but a living, breathing call to action, a holy roadmap to transform how you see yourself, how you move through the world, and how you trust the divine architecture guiding every step. The Spirit through Archangel Michael reminds you now that nothing in your life has been wasted, not a single tear, not a single delay, not a single battle, for all have been gathered into the treasury of heaven and are being redeemed into wisdom, resilience, and testimony. The very weight you once carried as burden is being refashioned as authority, and the very shadows that once threatened your joy are now becoming the backdrop that makes your light shine even brighter. Do not think lightly of the magnitude of what is unfolding in your life, for you stand at a threshold where purpose meets preparation, and everything behind you has been shaping you to step through everything now before you. Let your heart absorb once more the truth of